From the top. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. The brains of my people just went out the back door. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. Black men now fags, black women turn to hoes. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. There they go, yep, yep, there they go. The brains of my people just went out the back door.
Because it's an African proverb that says, know thyself. And if you don't know yourself, then you can't know nothing. That's just what I believe. Everybody's views are different, and we're going to talk about these views. I already said that, and another thing I want to do right now is I want to show respect to some elders that's alive and that that are not alive. Dr. John Hendrick Clark, Dr. Jacques Diop, Dr. Yosef Ben Buchanan of the Icewear Vezzo, who I had the pleasure of talking to all the time. He's awesome to me. Pastor Ray Higgins, my father, Marcus Garvey Jr., Renoko Rashidi, Jelani and Nefertiti, my mother, my boy Seti right here, my elder Lovebird, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and my close buddy Curtis Hyde, who's really helped me out a lot. And all the people I named, like I said, some of them are past, some of them are alive. But the bottom line is, these are men that I get knowledge from. Another thing I want to talk about is my past. A lot of people don't know my past and why I'm even doing this. When I was passing out the flyers, people were like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What's going on? And I'm feel free to clap and laugh too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I'm a silly guy. And I'm going to be silly. I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to get up here trying to, whatever. I'm not a pastor, none of that. So, can you hear me? Okay. I grew up in the church, okay? And a lot of us in the so-called African-American community grew up in the church. And in this growing up in the church, we've learned a lot of things. We learned how to conduct ourselves a certain way. We learned about what we believe is God. We learned about respecting our elders. Whatever you have learned in church, I don't know. Some people have bad experiences in church. If you watch the news, some people have bad experiences in church. They've been molested by priests and all type of crazy stuff. Me personally, I've had a pretty good experience in church. During my time in church, I've had a lot of experiences, some good and some bad. But there's one thing, no matter what I have done, and that's done my own research. And y'all gotta excuse me because I'm kind of nervous. But in doing my own research, it's certain things that I found out that it's kind of mind-blowing. Because it's not the norm, if you know what I mean. We're going to get off of that in a minute. I also want to say this is not an open forum. Please keep your comments to yourself. You can clap, you can laugh, like I said, but we're going to have a question and answer. Getting back to my past though. I got some good parents. I was raised in a two-family home. And I used to do gospel music. I studied under some predominant men of God. I mean, like people that y'all see on TV all the time. And in this journey that I went through, I can honestly say that my father was a very good example of what we call a man of God, because I never seen my father sleep around with the women in the church. I never seen my father steal money, because I was there. He conducted himself as what we call today a man of God. So I have mad respect for my father. He's letting me have this event here today. But everybody was not like my father, unfortunately. And You know, I'm a very passionate person. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a very passionate person, very much so. And anything that I believe in, especially when it comes to the afterlife. I've always had a soft spot for the afterlife, if that's what you want to call it. I always had a, you know, I was very, you know, I had an inquiry about the afterlife. What's going to happen when we die? That's always been like my main fear. Like, what's going to happen when you die? There's got to be something else on that other side. You know, this dimension that we in right now, it can't be the only thing. When you ask yourself these questions, you start doing research if you're anything like me. You know, if the doctor told you you had a sickness, you're gonna research that sickness. You might not know about it until the doctor tell you about it. But you're guaranteed that when he tells you about it, if you care anything about your life, you are going to do some research on this sickness. And you're going to find out what is it that you can do to stay alive a little bit longer. If you're anything like me. Like I said, I'm just going to let, you know, the Christians call it the spirit. I'm going to let my ancestors guide me right now. Another thing I want to do is I want to read off my library, not read it off, but just show y'all that I brought all these books here from my crib. That map is from my house. And just to show y'all that, you know, there's a lot of books out there. Everybody got their own opinion about whatever. But it's certain things, it don't matter what your opinion is. It's the truth. Point blank, period. Okay? These are the things that I'm definitely going to try to talk about, okay? And like I said, I'm just gonna turn my phone on, okay? And I'm just gonna read, you know, what I got here. Like I said, I'm just gonna let, you know, let it go, you know? First, I want to ask y'all a question. And that is, because everybody in this room, I mostly love, you know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people that I just love and I adore and I see on a daily basis, you know. Do y'all want me to sugarcoat this to make y'all feel good? And I mean, I'm being honest, because I got two speeches. I got the sugarcoat speech, you know, that's the sugarcoat speech. And I got this speech where, you know, I can just let you have it. And I understand, you know, like I said, we in the church and all that, but I mean, who wants to be free? I mean, okay, raise your hand if y'all don't want me to sugarcoat it. If y'all don't want me to sugarcoat it, okay, put your hands down. That's an anonymous vote. So I'm just gonna go at it the way I do. Now, getting back to my past, I've been going back and forth. I used to preach. I used to have a street ministry. And everybody that know me knows I done sold like over 300,000 records in the city of Detroit. 100,000 of those records were gospel records. I used to do gospel rap. And like I said, I guess this don't fit in here. Like I said, in this journey, you find out that what people say and what people do is a little bit different than what people believe in. This always has been a question in my mind. Sometimes the truth hurts. The question is, do you want to know the truth? That's the bottom line. A lot of people are so caught up in the lie or the lies that's been told, they don't want to hear the truth because it's going to change the way they think. It's going to change the way they live. It's going to change the way they act. And they're going to have to eat maybe some words that were said, or they're going to have to deal with some emotions about this particular belief that they have. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to go back and say, you know, but see, to me, life is all about change. What's the use of living if you're going to stay the same? You know? I mean, even our cells in our body change every day. You know, after we take a shower, they rejuvenate themselves. So why can't our mind and our spirit? Okay? I want to start off by actually getting into the Bible. You don't have to turn to this and nothing. I'm not going to go there, but in Hosea 4:6, it said that people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible says. We in the church, a lot of people. Let me see the hands of the people that was raised a Christian, honestly. Who was raised a Christian? Okay, that's a lot of people. Okay, that's a lot of people. All right, so y'all know when I say the Bible, y'all can relate to that, right? Hosea 4:6, people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. In that scripture, I don't see nothing, no extra nothing. Just people were destroyed for the lack of knowledge, point blank, period. In John 8:32, Jesus makes a statement, and he says, the truth shall make you free. You're either going to believe this statement or you're not going to believe this statement. Okay? The truth shall make you free. Raise your hands if you believe the truth is going to make you free, whether you like it or not. Because you got to remember, Jesus said a lot of stuff that folk didn't like. Okay? He just did. And I might do the same thing. But hey, that's not what I'm trying to do. I also want to say, because I know questions is rambling on. You say, a lot of people ask me, why are you having this event? Why are you having this event? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that black folks at the bottom of the totem pole. It really don't. It don't take, folk to get on TV and tell you that black folks just gone. We believe everything somebody tell us. People of color have been so just under the rug. And I'm just tired of it. I was talking to a young fella today, and I was basically telling him, when older people speak about certain things, white folks laugh and politicians laugh and, how you little cute little old man. Well, let a, 31, 30, 29-year-old talk about it, and you know what he's talking about. They ready to, call us a terrorist group or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous because we have no rights. That's just what I believe now. There ain't no proof of nothing. From my understanding, I live in the hood. What I see in the hood, we ain't got no rights. They trying to do everything in their power to lock black men up right now. I work in the mall. I talk to over 300 people a day. And black men are getting locked up for stupidity. I mean, everything. No registration, no license. They cross the line, the Detroit line, and they go over there. And one thing I believe, and this is just what I believe, when something's a fact, I'm gonna let y'all know, trust me. But right now I'm just saying what I believe, is rap music and stuff like this that's out that the preachers and the politicians are blamed for. I don't think that's the cause of why black people are messed up right now. And I'm speaking for my generation, because we got some older elders in here. And I can only speak for my generation. I wasn't there when the riots happened, okay? I can only read about that. I would like to be there so I could sock a few police officers, but I wasn't. So, for real, I wasn't, okay? Oh, by the way, the reason why I got on this shirt right here, I believe his name, we're gonna get into him, but I believe his name was Michael Donald. He was hung in 1981 by the Ku Klux Klan. Not 1930, not 1940, 1981. And he's like a hero to me because his family had a lawsuit against the Ku Klux Klan. I believe it was the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, and he bankrupted them because he sued them. That's great. Can y'all clap for that? Okay. History is a clock. I'm gonna get right into it. History is a clock and a compass so people can find themselves geographically. Black folks are the only race of people that cannot do this. The relationship of history and the people is the same relationship as a mother to her child. History tells us who we are culturally and politically. History is the foundation of your tomorrow. The reason why people are here today, because yesterday somebody told y'all I was going to be here. So y'all here today. Y'all agreeing with me?
That's right.
Okay? If your foundation is built on lies, how can you move forward? People before our generation were told that they had no history. This generation is starting to find out that this is not true. Now we have access to information and identify ourselves with who we are without any excuse. Information has been a kryptonite for the so-called African American man or black people. We don't like knowledge.
That's right.
As a whole, I'm saying, don't take offense individually. I'm saying as a whole, we only take up 13% of the population in the United States of America. So when I speak, I'm speaking as a whole, us, folk, black folk, people of pigmentation. Because you got some people of pigmentation that don't think that we black. But it's already been proven that if you was to add up everybody with pigmentation on this planet, there would be over 1 billion people. The problem is you got people up in India who don't think they black and they darker than us in this room right now. They got like a shade balance, you know, who they're so stupid. But really, the fight is against people of pigmentation, okay? I'm gonna get up into all this. Information has been a kryptonite for black people. We as a people are allergic to new information. My question I have to you is why? Y'all gotta excuse my passion for this. For real, really gotta excuse it. If you ever want to hide something from someone, put it in their faces, and they probably won't see it. I'm gonna give y'all a good example. I like women. And, you know, say you got 2 girlfriends, you know, and the girlfriend asks you, well, where you been? You say, oh, I was with another girl. She's like, quit playing. I'm like, I just told her I was with another girl, and I really was. But she say, oh, quit playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't playing, I'm serious. Right. You know what I'm saying? She say, you know, no, you wasn't. You wasn't with another girl. Okay, all right, fine. You throw it right up in her face. You just told her the truth, but she think you joking. When 9/11 happened, it was right in our face. And we fell for the trap. Because I don't know how many people we got in this room that actually believe Bin Laden did that, but I hate to bust your bubble, but he did not do that. We're going to get off into that too. So if you want to hide something from somebody, just stick it right in their face. I personally believe in doing the right thing, marching into hell, than to go with a bunch of fools into heaven. John Henry Clark made this statement, and that was really profound to me. Because it's the truth, you know. We always talk about doing the right thing, but are we willing to go through hell to do the right thing? Or are we gonna stay in our comfort zone? It is a man's responsibility to use his talent like the one I have for music and change the world. This is why you are here today. And this is all I'm trying to do. I got some information I just want to share with y'all. You know, this period, point blank. If I do not maximize on the gift God gave me, I will be responsible for the soul's loss. People naturally like me, and I want to use this gift for the good. I know y'all might say, yeah, people naturally like me. Yes, I'm a good guy. I think so. That's right. Our future is at stake. If you really are concerned with the future, we must first understand who we were in the past. African history, Negro history, and Black history are the missing pages of world history. Everyone on this planet identifies themselves by geography, okay? If somebody was to say, I'm Indian, you would say they from India. You would know automatically, boom. You know? If somebody was to say, I'm Chinese, you can look at this map I got right here and say, boom, you know? Why do black people get offended when I say you African? That's what you are.
That's right.
That's what we are, we African, whether you like it or not. Because when the police pull you over, you African. I don't care what you think you was before he pulled you over. He gonna make sure you know at the end of that, in the suburb, that you was African when he pulled you over. Especially us young black men. I'm speaking for the young black men who know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Because my heart started beating fast every time I cross 8 Mile.
Right. Tell the truth.
See, nobody want to talk about this. See, you got the preachers, they want to talk about the 7 steps of faith and prosperity, but they don't want to talk about this. This is what's affecting us. I don't want to hear about that. And that's another thing I admire about my father. He's never went through the tradition of the church to try to raise money and give money. Like, I'm going to tell what I believe is the truth, and that's it. So that's what I'm going to do. All these gimmicks and stuff they got, it's just not the preachers, it's the people that come on 2 o'clock in the morning who try to feed you. I'm on $100 and you're going to get $50,000 last. That easy. Don't you know how I pack up my booth right now and leave and stop being a producer? Start getting off into what they talking about. But anyway, oftentimes people ask me if color is an issue. I answer them by saying, if color is not an issue, then why have they tried to cover it up? Why not keep things the way they originally were? We will find out today with evidence everything was originally African. When things come to light, the darkness will leave. And I ain't talking about the darkness of our skin either. I'm talking about the evilness of man who has took these truths and changed them the way he wants, us to believe these truths. Okay? We are the only group of people with no cultural pride.
Right.
Europeans got cultural pride. They make statues of European saints, George Washington, Abe Lincoln. No one ever makes a fuss about this. Mel Gibson can make a movie with a white Jesus. I don't see nobody, tripping on him about that. As a matter of fact, they said that movie sold more than like Lord of the Rings. Now, if you know anything about church like I do, mostly black folks go to church. Because most of the European race don't even believe in God. If you go do your research. We are spiritual people by nature.
That's right.
We are attracted to things that attain to God naturally. And you will find out why as I go ahead. Okay? If it's not about race, why are all the artifacts and antiquities of ancient Egypt in the British and London museums? Why are they trying to reconstruct the image of our ancestors today? What are they trying to hide and why? A lot of people don't know this, but they're reconstructing the artifacts in Egypt right now, in Africa. What they're doing is they're grabbing all the resources they can. If they make a movie called Passion of Christ with a white Jesus, then 20 years from now they're going to make a movie about Martin Luther King and he's going to be a European. It sounds funny, but it's the truth. Because right now they got it where they're trying to, I don't know if they've already passed the law, or they're trying to pass a law where when you're applying for a job or you're taking a test and it has the ethnicity on the chart, if you're black, if you're white or something like that, they actually got it where you can choose whatever you want to choose. I'm serious. I just had a girl tell me this, blew my mind. I'm like, are you serious? So soon, a black person gonna be able to say, I'm Chinese. Yeah, and write it down and it get accepted or whatever. What is this madness?
Right.
You don't see no other race with these issues but our race. And that's why I'm up here today. But we don't want to talk about that. Don't nobody want to talk about that. I mean, a lot of people here, y'all wouldn't have came if y'all didn't want to talk about it. I'm talking about the outsiders, because right now y'all like family to me, because y'all came and supported me. I ain't talking about y'all, okay? It's just sad what I hear on a daily basis if y'all only knew, because you got black people who actually think that they not black.
That's right.
They'll tell you they black, but their actions and what they say, they not black. You came here tonight because you're looking for an answer, or you already know the answer and you just came to support me. We have been listening from the side of the Western European for far too long. They are only telling the story from their point of view. When are we going to learn from our point of view? Okay? Why is it wrong when we tell people from our point of view? Why? Why, when something is of African descent, it is wrong? Why? Why? I don't understand. Anybody here from Africa? Raise your hand. Okay. Can y'all clap, please, for the Africans that's here? They're actually from Africa. And I've heard some stories that'll blow your mind today. Our history has been stripped from us. We are the only race of people with no cultural pride and no identity. The same tactics they have used to enslave us physically are the same tactics that they are using today to enslave our minds. Just because a Negro ain't hanging from the tree no more don't mean they're not enslaving our minds. Preachers don't talk about this anymore. They are too busy creating a large sanctuary. Black leaders don't want to talk about it anymore because they're too busy gaining fans. Malcolm X was shunned for calling other black leaders of his day Uncle Tom and house niggas. Some of these black leaders are still alive today, and some of these black leaders' kids are still alive, but where are we as a people? Where are we really? Did Abe Lincoln really free the slaves? For real. Like I said, I didn't come here to offend anyone tonight. It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to keep reiterating that, because black folk get offended real quick. If I say something that is outside of your realm of knowledge, how can you say anything about it? How can you have an opinion or a point of view about it? Okay? All I can tell you is to go do your own research. Okay? Another thing I want to do is explain the difference between a fact and a belief. A fact is something that I like to say is unbiased. Meaning, you can have a person, two people, that totally have two different views about something. You place a fact in front of them that's irrefutable, and both have to agree. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If I was to play some music right now, and everybody who's not deaf can hear it, we would all agree that it's music playing in this room. Everybody agree that I'm standing here right now. You know, certain things you just can't argue with. They don't need to even get, because folks like to get deep. It ain't that deep. It's not that deep, okay? It's a fact is a fact, and a belief is a belief. Now, a belief is something a little different, because see, a belief can be accepted whether it's a fact or not.
That's true.
Okay? Like I said, I ain't no scholar, y'all. I'm just sharing some information with y'all that I learned. Okay? When I get into discussions with people, I like to tell them all the time, don't talk to me with no evidence. No evidence, no argument. Period. I do not base my facts on what I believe. I base what I believe on facts. Everything that I talk about tonight can be researched again and again. Once again, I want to reiterate, I do not come to you as a preacher, teacher, scholar, or political group. I'm not an expert at this at all. I would just like to share information with you tonight that has changed my life, and hopefully it will have the same impact on your life. I come to you as a humble servant of God, in the image of God, because I greatly believe that I'm in the image of God, trying to tell the truth. I'm doing this because God told me to do this. I'm not prejudiced, and I do not hate anyone. I want to make that clear too. But we must analyze what one race of people have done to the next race of people to understand why we are where we are today. Certain things cannot be ignored, whether you like it or not. We all know the difference between poor folks and rich folks. You ain't got to argue about that.
That's right.
Okay? All right, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go over here. Y'all kind of quiet out there. No, it's good. I'm going to get right into it, okay, because I did my intro. Everybody got an understanding of what I'm saying so far? Y'all with me? Okay. I just want to, like I said, I want to tell, I read a lot, okay? I got books out there, yin yang. This ain't even close to my library. Like I said, I ain't no scholar. I'm just a street cat that's just learned some stuff. I got from slavery to freedom. I got African presence in early Asia. Got the Constitution. I got the Sons of Canaan. My boy Los, let me see that. I got different books about religion. These are my library. This is what I like to read. Now the problem, and I'm just throwing this out, with the problem that I noticed with certain people is the only book that we've ever picked up was this book right here. There's nothing wrong with this book. I love this book. But this book must be analyzed very carefully before you can base your afterlife on it. All right? According to National Geographic, the Twa people, or the Bo people, migrated to the parts of Africa into Asia. Their history dates back to almost 400,000 years old. What day did I just say, y'all?
400,000.
You know anything about the Twa people? They were unquestionably black. Matter of fact, they were so black. You see them black shoes right there?
Black blue.
Black blue. All right? Now, you know, like I said, I might say some things that you don't know about. Just take it in, please. And like I said, go do your own research. Okay? This is not me talking with everything. We must remember that it has been proven already that the first man was found in Africa. This has been proven, y'all. This ain't no, don't let nobody, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody try to, well, you know, he wasn't really found. No, nigga, we was found in Africa. Point blank, period. Ain't no question about that. You don't have to question certain things. Certain things are just evident. Even in the Bible, it says that the outskirts of these rivers was around Cush. If you know anything about Cush, let me go to my map, because you know, folk in church don't know nothing about it, man. We just know about the little river in the back of the Bible. Some of us, you know what I'm saying? But this is Cush right here. Where's Ethiopia? It's on somewhere. Here you go, Ethiopia right here, okay? And the Bible talks about the rivers around it. Now, anybody that knows about Africa, you know about the Nile Valley. All right, this, I believe, is stretched to like 4,000 miles. It was like a cultural highway. Like, this was like our large freeway. Everything that went on in the Nile. They did trading in the Nile, they did everything in the Nile. I mean, I don't know, my mind get to wondering what they really was doing, because I just found out the other day that Egyptians like to drink beer after they took a break. Like, Egyptians actually made beer. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So I can just imagine them like trading with each other, you know, taking a sip of the 40, you know what I'm saying? Going on their boats, because the Phoenicians, they were like experts at Navy with boats. If y'all know anything about the Phoenicians, these were black people who, I don't know, they just was some Macs on the boat. Be going back and forth to the Mac too. So that's one thing I want to say. All species migrated had to come from Africa. We will deal with 3 species of man today. Originally there were 5, but 2 disappeared according to G.O.A.T. The Neanderthal man left and went up north. Now check this out. This is something I want to show you. I'm gonna be going back and forth, so I'm gonna be pausing. You know, I'm only human. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be passing the pictures around as I, you know, see them. So like when I get done using because what you see is very important, you know. So I gotta see something. And then I'm gonna pass it around when I'm doing it. Y'all can pass it around. I want my pictures back, y'all. Please, I don't want no Kool-Aid stains and Dorito stains on my, no, I'm just kidding. I got some plastic on it, but you know, just give me my thing back, please, if y'all don't mind. I have a picture here of the origin of man. Now, a lot of people, especially spiritual people, they don't like to deal with this. They don't like to deal with the origins of the man, you know what I'm saying? They don't like to, well, you know it, you know. You hear now like, you know, well, that, you know, that's just a man and this. Nah. They got people that this all they do is study bones. I believe they're called anthropologists.
That's right.
Okay? Just like a preacher study the Bible all day and day, like he's supposed to, you got folk that just study bones all day and day. I got my boy Raheem back there, he's familiar with heating and cooling. The brother come in my basement, I don't know nothing about it. He come in my basement, yo, this was wrong. You know, he know what's up. You can't argue with, you know, somebody, a plumber. That's why you hire a plumber. When something's wrong in your house, you go get a specialist for this. You want somebody to paint your house, you gonna get a painter. Well, if I know about bones, I'm gonna get an anthropologist. I'm not gonna ask some preacher that was raised down south that just woke up one morning and decided to start a church. I'm gonna go get an anthropologist. And I'm gonna find out, you know, what's going on with these bones. And they got millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment to back up what they saying. The one at the top is the Homo erectus. The one at this one right here is the Neanderthal bone. I got a picture of the Homo sapien. Now we are called Homo sapiens sapiens today. And I ain't about to get off into that because I ain't no anthropology, but I'm just telling y'all what I learned, okay? Now, what's so funny to me is these bones that were found in Africa, every species that was found in Africa. I found this out, it kind of messed with me. But there were certain species that actually like left Africa and went on their merry way. One of these species was the Neanderthal man. We're going to talk about him later. Nature never strikes twice. In other words, you can have different forms of different things, but basically a lion is a lion, a cat is a cat, a dog is a dog. And, you know, if this species decided to be extinct for some reason, and there was no other species on this planet like this species, how many would agree with me that it ain't gonna just pop back up? You understand what I'm saying? The species, goes, it don't come back. You understand? Nature don't strike twice. So now I'm looking at 3 species of man that we're gonna deal with. We're gonna deal with the Homo sapien man, which is the knowing man, the Neanderthal man, and the Homo erectus, which was, I believe, the first upright man. This Neanderthal man that they found was so strange is they found this man not only in Africa, but they found him in Europe and in western parts of Asia. If you know anything about this map, you will see, hold on, that this is Europe. You go Russia, you go Greenland, you go North America. Everybody can see this map? Yes? No? Okay. These bones were found here, but like I said, they had migrated. There were different climates. I mean, don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out either. Evidently, it's hot in Africa. Y'all know that. Y'all see the movies. It's hot, it's burning up. You know, it's hot. So in order to survive in Africa, I mean, Africans here, am I right? You gotta have some melanin in your skin, or you can't stay out there too long. Am I right or wrong? So if this is true, and then in the European parts, it's cold, right? I'm gonna talk to y'all like on this level because I don't wanna, you know, go to, you know, am I right or wrong? Is it cold up in here? I mean, when I go to Canada, it's colder than it is in Detroit. Just that, when you cross the border, you can feel the difference. It's amazing to me. So we can only imagine how cold it is. Now check it out, in these parts right here, you can't plant no food with ice. It ain't going down. You can dry. You ain't got no agriculture going on with the ice. It just ain't happening, okay? But in Africa, you got a river that's over 4,000 miles long. You got agriculture going on. Now, these bones that they found, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million years old. What did I just say?
3 million.
3 million, 4 million. They don't know, but 1 million is enough for me to know that these beings, you know, are old. There's even in the Bible, it talks about before Adam sinned. We don't know that time bracket. You know, the preachers and the teachers and the theologists, they try to say, well, you know, it's 6,000 years. You don't know that. And we're going to talk about that because 6,000 years, when you find out about African history, is nothing.
That's right.
We was doing brain surgery 6,000 years ago. But you don't learn that in school. And this is the problem that I had. Brain surgery. Egyptians had batteries, y'all. Batteries.
That's right. What?
Yeah, batteries, yeah. Running water, hot, cold water, yeah. Mm-hmm. Very smart people. But it gets deeper. Okay, so these 3 species, I'm going to pass this around. Brother, can you, okay, y'all can look at that. Now, this all the stuff I'm saying to you has been proven. Go do your research. Don't argue with me. Please don't argue with me. Just go do your research. Go pick up a book, black folk, please. Because this is what, see, y'all got to remember something. When we was in slavery, the first thing they told us to do is don't read.
That's true.
So why would you listen to your oppressors? It is a scripture in the Bible that says, do not follow your oppressors. Do not go to their evil ways. It's a scripture in the Bible that says that. Okay? Now, when dealing with these people, I've laid my foundation to say that these people, we all know we're black people. Now, the people that migrated, or the beings, I want to say, that migrated to Europe and West Asia, from doing my research, I don't want to say they were black people. Right? And I'm going to tell you why I don't want to say that. Okay? But like I said, I got some stuff for you. This article right here, there's a shocking article to me because it's from the Washington Post. And I just want to read some of it. It says, scientists discovered that, now this is December 16th, 2005. So this is very recent. Some of you have heard of this, but some of you have not. It says, the topic is scientists found a DNA change that accounts for white skin. And before I even get off into this, I want to address the fact that people say, well, how does this affect us today? I think that y'all know that. See, when you go apply for a job, they want to see your work history. When you go get a car, see your credit history. When you cross the border, they want to see your birth history. Your history is everything. And like I said, the reason why, you know, we hold is because we don't know our history. It ain't got nothing to do with the rap music and the rims and the grills in the mouth. None of that. It's the fact that we don't know our history. Scientists said yesterday that they have discovered a teeny genetic mutation. It was funny how they used that word, mutation. That don't sound like, when I think of mutation, I think of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Something like that. You know, something that's just out of the, ordinary. The Incredible Hulk or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't think of nothing human. That largely explains the first appearance of white skin in humans tens of thousands of years ago. A finding that helps solve one of biology's most enduring mysteries and illuminates one of humanity's greatest sources of life. The work suggests that the skin whitening mutation occurs by chance in a single individual after the first human exodus from Africa. Now this is an article in 2005 repeating what I just told y'all. And this man, if you go do your research, was the Neanderthal man. Okay? It's so funny because if you know anything about the Washington Post, these white folks, these ain't black folks. I didn't get this from some brother. These is European people saying this. Okay? I even got mutation. I got the, I like to look up stuff. So I got at the bottom of here, the action of mutating. So, this being had to go through some type of mutation. All right? Skin color is I'm just going to get some highlighted stuff. I got skin color is a reflection of the amount of distribution of the pigment melanin, which is in humans to protect them in damaging ultraviolet rays, but in other species is also used for camouflage or other purposes. Humans of European descent, Ching's team found, Ching was the guy who actually found this out, bear a slightly different mutation that hobbles the same protein with similar effect. The defect does not affect melanin deposition in other parts of the body. Okay, I want to explain something to y'all right now. People who we already established who the first man was. There shouldn't be no question there, because the Bible say that, everybody say that, the first man was black. We have what we have. We have what we call pigmentation. We have melanin in our skin. Now, growing up, I didn't know how important melanin was, but melanin is very important. It ain't just the color of your skin, but it's the color of your hair. It controls your heart rate. Black folks, we have what you call a pineal gland. I hope I ain't losing y'all. You have what you call a pineal gland. And what's so crazy about this pineal gland is it's located in your brain. And what it does is this gland secretes what we call melatonin in our skin. And it secretes serotonin also. Serotonin for black folks during the daytime, because we got an abundance of melatonin already, so we don't need to secrete no more melatonin during the day, I guess. And then after 12 o'clock, according to certain researchers, after 12 we start producing this melatonin. When we wake up in the morning, we full blasted with melatonin, we good to go. We good for the sun, okay? European people, or people without pigmentation, okay, they have what you call a calcified pineal gland. Okay, and I'm making this distinction for a reason. I don't want y'all to think I'm beating up on white folks. No, I'm not trying to do that. This is true. Like I said, this is true. Because the last time I checked, we the ones that's always getting beat up. So this is an event for us.
Right.
So if you get offended, I'm sorry. I know folk got white relatives and stuff like that. That's fine and dandy. My grandfather was white. So, but the truth is the truth. And it hurt. And like I said, people of melanin, we are the ones that's getting beat up right now. We are the last people on the totem pole right now.
That's right.
So we need something for ourselves. That's our problem. We have nothing to claim for ourselves. So y'all told me not to sugarcoat it. Europeans have even changed the name of Egypt. Oh, I'm sorry. Egyptians started agriculture, which was 20,000 years ago. And they had to identify the alignment of the stars in order to plant seed time and harvest. Now, when you talk about agriculture, and you talk about Egyptians, and you talk about melatonin, and you talk about pigmentation, anytime you're doing any type of agriculture, you got to be black. When you outside all the time and you black, you're going to get blacker.
That's right. So
we already know that pigmentation, this melatonin in this that's being produced, it gives us skin color, and God gave it to us, because the Bible even said that we were made in the image of God, right? We've already established that the first man was dark.
That's right.
See, stop believing these lies that Noah had 3 different races. You tell me, when has that ever happened? What no other race but us? Okay? I want to say stuff so bad, I want to lay a foundation. There wasn't no other race but us. Quit believing these European lies, y'all, because it's messing us up. Now I can say this, Europeans even changed the name of Egypt. Egypt was originally called Kemet, but if I say Kemet, I might confuse people because we've been used to the European term of Kemet, which is Egypt. Kemet meaning black, Kemet Ta meaning black land, Kemet Numia meaning black people, okay? We're gonna talk about the earliest pre-dynastic origins of Egypt. They gave us the first concept of one God. Now check this out. I want to say this first. Now, I told y'all I was raised in the church. I love the church. Black folk just so emotional in the church. I used to laugh at the people that used to be shouting and stuff in church. You know, you see they catch the Holy Ghost and they get the Holy Ghost, they get shouting together. It's so funny. I'm sorry. I love the singing in church. I love all that stuff. A lot of African behavior is in church and we don't even know it. If you go to the tribes of Africa, see, that's our problem. We don't really go do our research. There's folk in Africa right now that shout just like them folk in church. Look just like them. Same type of rituals and everything. But we've been taught that everything African is pagan. You got a brother now, and I love this brother, but he need to go pick up a book. His name is G. Craig Lewis. And he's dogging out. He got this DVD out called Exposing Hip Hop. And he's talking about, like I said, these are people that I grew up with in the church. And then he talking about Egypt and we was worshiping all type of gods and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. That nigga need to go pick up a book. Because as we gonna find out today that everything came from Africa, whether you like it or not. Let's keep in mind something when we talking about black history. Black history don't start with slavery. Right. It goes way before that.
That's right.
Okay? So, I'm gonna show y'all another picture. Actually, I'm gonna show y'all a couple pictures. I'm just gonna do my thing. Okay?
Go ahead, brother.
Are y'all learning anything so far?
I
mean, anybody? You know, I got so many pictures here. I might need some assistance. Hey, Sam, come here, bro. I got so many pictures I got to show y'all. I got this concept from my boy, Ashra Quasi. He told me personally, look, man, you gotta make sure you got some pics. He was like, if you ain't got no pictures, man, you tripping. I wanna show y'all this right here. Now, this brother right here is King Narmer, okay? This brother, or means, you know, typical Negro first pharaoh of Egypt, who unified Upper and Lower Egypt for the first time. He is assuredly neither Aryan, Indo-European, nor Semitic, but unquestionably black. Now let me explain something to y'all. I know what y'all been taught about Egypt, you know, and you know, black history and all that. Let me tell y'all something. Egypt was late. And when I say that, I mean, we got, ain't no telling who else was king before this dude. Alright, this dude was just who we found out, you know, later on. But when you talk about a history going back past that around over 400,000 or 500,000 years ago, I want y'all to step out of y'all side, you know, outside of y'all box for a minute. Okay? That's a long time. Now this brother ruled, I say, you know, they say 6,000 years ago, but I want to go back further than that because I don't believe that. I believe white folks are always pushing dates back. That's just what I believe. I believe this brother ruled probably 10,000 years ago. You know, they like to push stuff back. You know why? Because they want to place themselves in history. Because they ain't got no history. Okay? Here go another king right here. I want to show y'all King Khufu. Pass this. Now these are actual artifacts that they have found in Egypt before the Quran, before the Bible, before any type of religion was going on. Believe me, go do your research. Okay? Come here, Sam. Here's another king. Stay right here, bro. You might as well just stay right here. This king's Ramsey II. I'm just gonna look through. Now these are all my notes from the crib, so you know, I'm just gonna be ghetto and just show y'all. These are all my notes and you know, just carrying on. Hey Sam, let me see. I'm gonna show y'all that. Y'all just take a look at that. Now King Narmer actually got a something that talks about him, and I'm just gonna got what I got highlighted. It says King Narmer Palette, also known as the Great. I can't pronounce that. It's a palette that he had, and it is a significant Egyptian archaeological find that they say about 3,000 years ago. I don't believe that. Containing some of the earliest hieroglyphic inscriptions ever found. Make a long story short, basically they showing this king on this pallet that I got. And, you know, just showing that they had some type of civilization going on, this pallet that he had. They were not an ignorant people. When you go do your research on the Neanderthal man and people that were in Europe, you will see like some Flintstone type stuff. Egyptians didn't have no Flintstone type. We had real stuff, all right? We had, you know, stuff that we got today. I mean, they still stealing stuff from Africa right now. I mean, am I right?
Right.
I mean, the diamonds and the gold and stuff like that. We already had this stuff, okay? Okay, this brother right here, I want to show y'all, this is Imhotep, and I'm just going to roughly go over what I know about these people. Like I said, I'm not an Egyptologist, I'm not a scholar or nothing like that. I like Imhotep because Imhotep was a bad dude. King Sozar was over him, and he commissioned this dude because this dude knew medicine, he knew architecture, he knew science. I mean, he was like, you know, we call people high priests today and they don't know nothing. This dude was really a high priest. Now, mind you, this is like thousands of years before any type of literature is going on. There ain't no religion, no none of that. Another thing I want y'all to keep in mind too is, y'all gotta remember something. It wasn't no Ethiopia and you Ethiopian and you Nubian. It wasn't none of that. Everybody was black. It wasn't no need to make no type of difference back then. See, Europeans came and changed that. We didn't think of each other as different. Africa was the continent that we lived on, and that was it. All I knew was he black and I'm black, and that's it. There wasn't no, oh yeah, he over here. Now, it might have been a tribal difference. But as far as this color thing, oh no, that wasn't popping.
That's right.
Okay? That wasn't popping. Now, King Zozar, who I just talked about, here he is. And what I like about this brother is, well, he's one of my favorite kings, is the step pyramid was made during his time. And if you guys know anything about spirituality, you know, the Egyptians were very spiritual people. As a matter of fact, I want to say 80% of the context of the Bible came from Egypt. Now, if you don't believe me, go do your own research. In other words, a lot of the concepts that the Israelite people picked up on was from Kemet or Egypt. We're going to get off into the Israelite people also, because you're going to find out that they were black also. See, these images that y'all seeing on the Discovery Channel and stuff like that, they're not real images. Those are not ancient African people. You know how they might show, say they telling the story of Joseph in the Bible on the Discovery Channel. They'd go hire some Arabic people to play these parts, because we've been taught that Middle Eastern people that look like the Middle Eastern people of today, that's how they looked in ancient times. Well, I hate to break the news, but that's not how they looked in ancient times. The Arabics that you see today at the liquor stores and the gas station, those are like mulatto Arabics. Those are what you call European Arabics. Those are not, see, black can't make white. I mean, raise your hand if you seen a white person come from a black man and a black woman. I mean, I ain't seen it yet. Blue eye, blonde hair, just come straight from, you know, I'm waiting. Okay. Renoko Rashidi is my boy. And he put me on a lot of game. And these are pictures of Africans in India today. And the reason why I have this artifact right here is because this is an ancient artifact that they found in India. And I got a picture of the way they look today to show you that it is still some existing Africans in India. But when you watch TV, you don't think of this. You don't think of no black folks, you know what I'm saying, in these parts. Did I hand y'all a picture of Imhotep? Can somebody, who got that picture? Okay. The reason why I got, now check this out. This is proving my point right here. If you look at the picture at the bottom of Imhotep, it's a movie that came out called Mummy. And the dude that played the part was a white boy. And he played Imhotep. This is what they're trying to do to our race. Now, everybody took their kids to see this Mummy movie. But race is not an issue, right? Because I mean, there's a lot of religious people, they say, well, why you always into this? It's all about the blood and it's all about, see, when you cut yourself, ain't it red? Well, if it ain't about color, then why are they trying to change it? What is the big secret? What are they trying to keep from us?
The truth.
That's right. Well, I'm about to tell it.
Tell it like it is.
This brother right here, y'all told me not to sugarcoat this, King Akhenaten. This brother started the first concept of one God. Move over, Moses.
That's right.
This man is the man that Moses studied under.
Yeah.
Go do your research. Go do your research. Paul said that Moses was a scholar in Egyptology in the Bible. But we call Egyptology pagan in the church. When you plagiarize in school, what grade do you get? And that, Sam. Pass it along. This is what you call the weighing of the souls. This was found. I didn't forgot about my notes. Just gonna tell it like it is. Okay? Sam, pass this picture along. Yes, this makes me mad because this is not what I've been taught in school. Sorry. I'm not upset at y'all. Okay, in Isaiah 19:25, the Lord Almighty will bless them, saying, "Blessed be Egypt, my people, Assyria, my handiwork, and Israel, my inheritance." He includes Egypt and his people. So y'all got to remember something. Israel was not the only chosen people. As a matter of fact, if you go do your research, you will find out that everything that the so-called chosen people of Israel did came from Egypt. Israel wouldn't have had nothing if it wasn't for Egypt. Another point I want to bring out. Okay, I want to say this first. How can you know about whom God is if we were lied to about who he is? If you've been lied to about who God is, how can you know about God? The brother I was talking about earlier, G. Craig Lewis, who dogs out hip-hop and dogs out Egyptology, when you turn on his brother DVD, he got a picture of the intro of some white saints. You need to go read a book. How can you talk about Bible history without talking about black history? And there is nothing but black people after and during doing your research in the Bible. There's nothing but black people in the Bible. I'm about to show you right now. In the book of Genesis, it talks about Noah. Noah had some sons. One of them I want to talk about is, I believe it's Ham. He had 4 sons. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. 3, I'm sorry. Okay. Noah had 3 sons. No, I mean, how many sons did Ham have, I'm saying? Didn't Ham have 4 sons?
Yeah.
Okay, Ham had 4 sons. Cush, Put, Mizraim, and Canaan.
All right.
Okay, now that's in your Bible. How can you talk about Bible history without talking about black history? How can you talk about biblical history without talking about geography? Why don't they have a map of the world in the church? Maybe because they don't want you to know certain things. Maybe because the doctrine that we've been taught is a little wrong. Now, if you know anything about geography, and I don't, I never, I ain't no scholar, but Cush in the Bible, you can go do your research, is Ethiopia.
That's right.
Mizraim in the Bible, now these are the actual sons of Ham. Mizraim in the Bible is Egypt.
That's right.
Put, I believe, is Swahili. From Somalia, I'm sorry. And Canaan, we all know they black. Canaanites was black. Okay? These lands, or these people that are mentioned were named after lands. These lands that are mentioned, and these people that are mentioned, They all up in here. Africa. They wasn't named Atlanta, Georgia, Greenland, Russia, Australia, Europe. They were named African names. Now, if you go do your research on the Canaanite people, you will find out that they worship a god named El. El, okay, was the god that they would have. Baal, we all know about Baal because they talk about how to, God took Baal down. But El, though, this was so funny. Now, this is the land that God told the Israelites was theirs, according to their side of the story. Okay? Well, they didn't just take the land of Canaan, but they also took the God of Canaan. Because if you read anything about the Bible, you will know that El Shaddai, Elohim, the prophets Daniel, they all got this El in it. Where did this come from? Come from the Canaanite God. Now these are all still black people. Am I losing y'all? No? Because, we should have some Bible scholars in here that know what I'm talking about. Okay. These still black folks. There was sibling rivalry going on, okay, at this time. Okay. Dark people are considered cursed. We believe that, we believe this, they tell us, black folks is cursed. That picture I got of the Indian people of African descent, I also want to let y'all know that they believed in another God. I know I'm going, but I just want y'all to stay with me. They had another guy called Krishna. Now this guy was 2,000 years before Christ, and come to find out that this word Christ was derived from this word Krishna. Go do your research. Now, Krishna means black, point blank. Whoever made that, they was just flat out like, look, our race is a color. Well, Krishna means black. And now today we say, Christ is the anointed one. But see, back then it was the black one. See, those anointed were kissed by the sun, and you couldn't be anointed if you was not kissed by the sun. And when I say that, I mean of dark complexion. So they took pride in their blackness back then, even back then. Everything you heard about the Bible, including the people in the Old Testament, is African. Another race did not come into play until the first book of the New Testament, which was written in 70 A.D. The Bible is an African book. You ain't gotta like it, but it's the truth. Europeans didn't even come to play until 70. And remember this too, when you talk about the Bible, you cannot talk about when they talking about, because they start at the beginning. Adam and Eve. No, see, when you're doing historical research, you have to start on the time in which they start writing it. See, they start writing the Bible in 1500 BC. Now, if you know anything about historical time, you will know that BC always goes down. Anyway, you got 4000 BC, then later on is 3000 BC, then later on is 2000 BC, then later on, it goes down. And then when it started going to AD, then it started going back up, to 0, 1 AD, 2 AD, 3 AD, 4 AD. So you have to understand this in order to understand the Bible, the Old Testament, and the New Testament. Mark was the first book written in what we call the New Testament. Matthew, Luke, and John borrowed from this book. Now, if you go do your historical research, you will find out that Mark was the first book written in the New Testament. And the other books borrowed from this book. Okay? I want to talk about another person, which is Hagar, because this is a big deal. I was talking to some Arabic people. Y'all all know that Hagar had, Abraham had sex with Hagar, which was his concubine, and they had Ishmael. Well, Ishmael, this is the descendants of the Chaldeans who we see today. Well, let me correct something. And I'm speaking in history. The original Chaldeans were black. There you go. Because Hagar was, if I'm not mistaken, an Egyptian woman.
That's right.
Ain't nothing light skin coming from Egypt. The pictures I'm passing out should show you these folk knew they was black. They drew they was black. And You know, ain't no question about that. Okay? I got down here, you know, there was no race distinction during that time, you know. Thanks, bro. You got to remember when you're talking about the Bible, and the reason why I keep going back to the Bible is because that's what we can relate to. I just seen a handful of people that said they was raised in the church. I know my time is winding down, but I ain't even got some. Man, y'all learning something?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Persian is, when you read about Persia in the Bible, it talks about, that's like Iran today, okay? Now these Chaldeans and these Arabic people that you see, they came about later. See, the real Chaldeans and the real, like the Jews you see in Southfield with the little thing on their head. Okay, let me explain something to y'all. The Ethiopians were the original Jews. Let me tell you why. I just showed y'all the descendants, right? Of Noah and Abraham had a black woman. They love, you know, these was some white folks, you know, they loved them some black tail because they got with the black women. But come to find out, they was black. So black folks produce black folks the last time I checked. And when you talk about the Chaldean race, you have to refer to black people. And it is impossible for a European to be a Jew because if you know anything about your historical research, you will find out that it's a language out there that's called the Ge'ez language. And the Ge'ez language is a Semitic language and it derived from Ethiopia. Now check this out, this language dominates certain parts of the book of Deuteronomy in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? Because we taught that the Bible was written in Hebrew, and you find out later that Hebrew is also a black language and a black writing also. Because all these people back then was black. And the Bible is called sometimes Cush. This language is an African Semitic language that dominates parts of the literal language of the Bible, especially Deuteronomy. Today, Ge'ez, am I saying that right? Ge'ez, okay, because she's from Africa, and she, you know, remains only as the G.O.A.T church, the Ethiopian church, and the Beta Israel Jewish community located in Africa. So they're still practicing this language today. I'm just going to read off some stuff because, you know, I don't want to be all day with the same thing. Ptah was known as the creator of the universe. He was a divine human with all things being created by him. One true God. He was known to be bring forth life with his words. Ptah was the only true God, and other gods acted according to his will. The name for supreme God in Egypt was many, just as in the Christian faith. See, we've been taught that Egyptians worship a lot of gods, when really what it is the Egyptians, what they did was they just paid homage to different attributes of God. We do the same thing in church, because if you read in church, God has so many names. He has El Shaddai, Elohim, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi. He got all these names. You understand what I'm saying? But they did the exact same thing. In the Bible, these people were, I'm going to talk about the Sumerians. The term Sumerian is a common name given to the ancient inhabitants of southern Mesopotamia. That's like near the Middle East. The Sumerians called themselves the Sagiga, literally meaning the black-headed people. So these are people that's actually in the Bible. And we're talking about, this is why I'm building this foundation. In other words, what I'm trying to tell y'all is everything in these areas right here was black. I'm naming off these different, you know, names to let y'all know that everybody was black. The Sumerians, the Canaanites. As a matter of fact, one of the descendants of Ham, all the ites came from. So every time you see ites in the Bible, they black. In Egypt, and right now, I'm going to tell y'all my subject matter too. Right now, we're just talking about, we're comparing Egypt with the Bible, and we're comparing Africanness with the Bible, because that's totally been eradicated. In Egypt, a serpent's head had represented protection against snake bite. Well, there's a story in the Bible with Moses, and what he did was he rose up a bronze serpent to protect them from snake. I mean, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, let me know. He held up a bronze serpent, and actually I have a picture somewhere if I can find it. Okay, I don't even got to show y'all the picture. Y'all been to the hospital before. What's the symbol that they got? Don't they got the two snakes wrapped around it? Yeah, okay, well guess where that came from? That came from Egypt, y'all. That's why all the pharaohs had a snake on their head. And what happened was, Moses actually raised up this stick, and the people got healed off this stick. And the people started worshiping the stick, and God was like, y'all ain't supposed to be worshiping this stick. and there goes the story. But that whole concept that Moses, when he had supposedly left Israel, that whole concept came from Egyptians. When you plagiarize in school, what grade do you get?
Yeah.
So why are we taught that these things are pagan? I don't understand. John 3:14, Jesus speaks of being as wise as a serpent. Okay? So in other words, the serpent in the Bible has bad attributes and it has good attributes. In spell 39, I believe, in the Book of the Dead, in spell 39, it has something in there, and it talks about Leviathan, I believe, being destroyed, and it has a picture on one of the tombs of a brother killing a snake with a stick. Now, if you know anything about the New Testament, they call Satan a snake. Even in Genesis, he was known as a snake. I mean, am I right or wrong?
All right.
Now remember, this stuff I'm talking about was like 2,000-3,000 years before the Bible. See, the Bible came Johnny come late. The Bible was written by brothers who migrated to the Middle East, who had already learned the Egyptian concepts and had migrated up here and said, you know what, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to party up here for now. You know what, we need us what they got down there. So we need to write some stuff down. This didn't go on to like 1500 BC. Now, 1500 BC, Genesis was written, and they say Moses wrote Genesis. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that if we don't know. But I do know this, 1500 BC is so late compared to the writings of Africa. The Bible even talks about, okay, I'm going to talk about this. The Bible says that the Antichrist will come from the kings of the north in the book of Daniel. Now, we know what the north is. Let me show y'all the north in case y'all don't know. This is the north right here. See, we always talk about who God using. God is using him. Glory to God on high. You know, God, he's a blessed man of God and all this crazy stuff. But what about who the devil using? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about who the devil using. Because see, he using folk too. And the last time I checked, we at the last of the totem pole. Okay? The Bible talks about this beast. Don't nobody want to talk about this beast. You know why? Because you got the preachers chilling with the beast.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. See, you got big time preachers chilling with the beast. They like the beast. They call it house niggas.
That's how they get paid.
Yeah. Show me give my house nigga picture.
They plain now. Don't sugarcoat it.
See? So let me tell y'all something about Jesus. First of all, his real name is Yeshua. Yeshua ben Yosef. Okay? Jesus is a Greek term. You know, a lot of Christians, they say, well, you know, it don't matter what name, you know, Jesus. See, Jesus is a Greek name. And ain't nobody Greek in this room. Matter of fact, we more Semitic than we are Greek. So why do we even say Jesus? Pass the house nigga picture around. I'm going to show y'all a couple house niggas. The concept of the Lion of the tribe of Judah even comes from Egypt. You got what you call the Sphinx in Egypt. This Sphinx was created thousands of years ago. Did nobody know nothing about no type of spiritual attribute being described as a lion before this? You know anything about the Sphinx? Find my picture of the Sphinx, brother. You know anything about the Sphinx? The Sphinx was a pharaoh's head shaped. His body shaped like a lion. So you gotta remember something. The Egyptians always dealt with the death, burial, and resurrection of the man. The death, burial, and resurrection of the man concept came from Africa. It did not start in 1500 BC when Genesis was written. I ain't trying to knock the Bible because I love the Bible. Matter of fact, black folks wrote the Bible. I'm trying to show y'all that it ain't stopped there, y'all. Our history goes way back. We just stuck on stupid as a whole. Ptah was the architect of the universe. He was the first concept of God. Asar, Set, and Haru. Are y'all learning anything?
Which?
Asar, I'm going, you know, Asar, Set, and Haru was the first concept of a trinity. And I'm just, they say my time winding up. It ain't that late. But I'm going to keep going with this. Okay, you had the 4 Coptic jars when the Egyptians got, when Haru was known back then like the Son of God, like how we believe in Jesus today, the Son of God, well, they had a Son of God too. And his name was Haru. And he came from a virgin birth also. And Asar has said Haru was a Trinity, but it was a little bit different than the Trinity that we believe today. Because the Trinity that we believe today is the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And that's cool. It's good. But it was something crazy about this Trinity. And this Trinity is that it had a woman. I love women. And this concept of a woman was taken out for some strange reason. Okay? See, in Africa, we honored our women. We honored the woman. To say the woman has no place in spirituality is like blasphemy back then. Well, you will find out later that the Greeks made up this concept of the woman being out of spirituality. The first concept of an angel was Ma'at, which was a woman. Women did a lot of things. As a matter of fact, women ruled on the side of their kings back then. And they made decisions just like the kings did. I want to tell y'all a story about this god named Khnum. He was an attribute of God. He was known as the potter. He made man, the Ba-Nakah. And the Egyptians believed in Khnum to be the first, like Adam and Eve. God formed Adam and Eve out of the dust of the ground. Well, Khnum did also the same thing. And in the Bible, it talks about God being the potter and we are the clay. Well, that whole concept came from Khnum. Because find a picture of Khnum. You got the picture of Khnum? Khnum, I want to pass out the first Trinity. This is the first Mary and Jesus, y'all. That's a set nourishing Haru. This is where Mary and Jesus came from. Matter of fact, I'm just going to run through these pictures because I know we winding down. I want to show y'all, I talked about, now you got to remember the Egyptians, they had writing. These African people, now check this out, I want to keep it y'all in mind. I hope I ain't losing y'all. This stuff happened like 3,000-4,000 years before the Bible was even written. Quran, all that. Why don't they tell us this? Why haven't they told us this in school? What is it that they're trying to hide? Egyptians, not just Egyptians, I don't want to keep saying Egyptians, Africans, because you know what, the Nubian people, they was bad too. All them people, they were just bad. They created science. Do you know, like, Africans, they had their own university. They had a university in ancient times where you go and you study math and science and things of that nature. And here I have a chart of Semitic writing. This is the writing of the Bible times. And Egyptian writing, I want y'all to, and this is what the kids had learned. In order to have any type of position in Africa, you had to go to school. Now, Akhenaten, the guy that created the first concept of God, this was his mother. Her name is Queen Tai. And you can't, this is a black one, this is a sister. She looks like she's mad. But you know what a sister look like when she's mad. Now check this out, this is what makes me so mad. And this is why I'm talking about this. Honestly, I want y'all to raise your hand. I want y'all to be honest with me. Who learned this in school? Raise your hand if you learned this in school. Okay. Okay. That's sad. That's only 2 people. How many of y'all learned this in church? Raise your hand. Okay, that's good. That's still 2 people. All this Aquarius, Leo, and all this stuff, here go, and this was found in the temples of Dondora, I believe it's called. And here go some astrology going on right now. Now check this out. A lot of people say, well, you shouldn't believe in stars and stuff like that. But the last time I checked, the 3 kings had to follow a star to even find where Jesus was. So how can you not talk about the stars? As a matter of fact, in agriculture, you cannot even do agriculture without lining something up with the stars.
Right.
So the stars play a vast part in what we believe in, okay? I also want to show y'all, I want to go back a little bit. I want to show y'all a picture of, they did a drawing of what they believe the Homo erectus looked like in the Neanderthal man and his Homo sapien bones. I want to show y'all that. You know they ain't look like that. Now I believe that Neanderthal man, the one that was found in Europe, looked like that because he looked like a beast. So I believe he looked like that. Yeah, I'm gonna make it real plain. I don't care. I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm gonna make it plain in a minute. I'm just gonna pass these pictures around. Now check this out. This is an Olmec head. This head is like what? 10,000 years old? About.
Can't even date it.
Can't even date it. This was founded in America. Where I just say?
America. Right here.
If you can't tell that's a nigga, something wrong with you. Why haven't you learned this in school? We lost, y'all. See, we ruled everything. I'm just gonna make it plain. We ruled everything. Black folks ruled everything. We wasn't just in Africa. We ruled India, we ruled Africa, we ruled America, we was up in Canada, partying, having a hearty old time. We had our own clothes, we had our own food, we had our own concepts, we had our own religion, we had everything. Even in Brazil, they got some bones, and what they do is they take the DNA of these bones to see if these bones got pigmentation to it. Jacques Antidia proved that these bones had pigmentation to it. So where are these images coming from of a white Christ? White saints. And we just don't care. We are the chosen people. You are not a chosen people because of what you know. You were made the chosen people. When God made you, he made you chosen. It wasn't a question whether or not you were chosen or not. As soon as you seen you was black, you God's chosen people. Now notice I ain't said nothing about no white folk history yet. But they ain't have one. And in fact, since I'm talking about white folks, let me show y'all a picture. Yes, I'm mad, and I'm going to show you why. This is what they used to do to us. Pass that picture around. That's right, clap. It's not a racial thing. If it's not a racial thing, then where are we? Where do we fit in this world? Why is all these artifacts in the British and the London Museum? Here go the Pope right here. He stole the hat of Osiris. Yeah, pass that around.
Tell the truth.
Every concept the Pope got, they got from Africa. Every last one of them. If you don't believe me, go do your research. Even Buddha was a nigga. Pass that around. I got the black Buddha, y'all. These are actual artifacts that are still standing today with black features. Now, you want to know how much you saturated into this European world? I'm about to tell you why. Here you go. Here go some gods right here that the days of the week was named after. Friday was named after a god named Freya. Thursday was named after Thor. It was in honor of Thor's day. You know how we say, thank God it's Friday? Yeah. Tuesday was named after a god named Ty. These are all European gods. Now check this out. Europeans, everything they did was Johnny come late. They late. So these ain't no ancient, don't get this mixed up with us. Because see, us folk, we did stuff a long time ago. This is like 700 BC, 600 BC. This is way after. We already got temples, pyramids, we got running water. We didn't invent drawers and socks and everything. And here they come. Now check this out. The reason why I talked about the Sumerians, now check this out, this is gonna mess you up. The reason why I talked about the oh my God. Who just put this on my thing?
I did.
Okay, well, they like got some stuff on here, I guess, ancient Egyptian flying vehicles. Wow. That's deep. Helicopters and spaceships and all type of stuff. Written on the tomb walls. Okay, pass that around. I ain't gonna talk about it because I don't know my research on that yet, but that look deep. I'm about to go do my research on it. I'm about to cut into some stuff because, okay, now check this out. Here go an image right here of a white Christ. Like I said, we always talk about why is it not important. See, this is my thing. This is my thing. They go to Jehovah's Witness books right here. Jehovah's Witness, I love messing with them. But in here, they got like a picture of paradise, ain't a nigga in sight. Like, see, what you don't understand is this. Do we have anybody here that deals with psychology? Raise your hand. I'm gonna tell you why it's important. Raise your hand if you deal with psychology. See, if you know anything about psychology, you will learn that what you see with your eye, yeah, and not just that, that's what you remember. So your preacher can say Jesus is black all he wants to, but if you keep seeing these white images, our kids are gonna grow up thinking Imhotep was white. They're gonna have a gay white man playing Martin Luther King talking about he was fighting for civil rights. By the time my son get older. Now this image right here is the image of Christ, and then I got a picture of Yeshua ben Yosef, like they depicted him of what he might have looked like, and he got a little pigmentation to him. He looked like a brother down the street, actually. You look a little Arabic, but you know, they gotta flip it up. But he looked more darker than that dude at the bottom. Okay? Now, we're gonna get into this thing for a minute. Now I want to talk about, now remember, we're still talking about the Bible days in Egypt. And I don't want to just talk about the Bible, let's talk about the Quran. Okay? Because, you know, you got Christians, they don't care too much about the belief of the Muslims either. Okay? But check this picture out right here. This is an early picture, and I don't see nobody black on this picture. This is like Muhammad and his boys. Now, something that y'all don't know about black folks, and that is later on down the line, and I'm going to get my dates in place, we were enslaved by Arabic people before we were enslaved by Europeans.
That's right.
Okay? So all these brothers walking around talking about some Assalamu alaikum, you know where you can put that. Because see, Arabic people back then and European people back then were no different. They was the line thieving, slave owners, people just like whatever. So you can take the Assalamu alaikum in your bean pie and you can shove that. Now you gotta remember something, we had slaves too, don't get it twisted, we enslaved each other, I don't wanna, you know, but check this out though, this is the thing, when we did it, we didn't like viciously do it the way they did it. They used to literally like, when they came and got us, I believe in the, I don't wanna get this mixed up, was it the 16th century, what was it, when did they come and get us? Yeah, 16th century, and they came and got us to become slaves, you know, and they started institutionalized slavery. They used to actually like, first of all, we was on top of each other. So we was pissing and boo-booing on top of each other. They was just shoving us in a boat. And if somebody got sick, they would throw us off the boat. Like just toss them off the boat. While they were doing this, because you gotta remember something, the Pope, which was the most powerful Christian man on the planet, commissioned these dudes from Spain and Portugal to actually go get slaves because they said that they were subhuman. They said that these people were not in the image of God and they were not a child of God. So it's okay to enslave these people. So while they were on the boat, they was teaching them a doctrine. This doctrine was called Christianity. And if you go do your research, you'll find out not the Christianity that I'm talking about. Because see, we started Christianity. And we started the concept of Islam too, if you want to go do your research. But the Arabic slave trade, I believe, happened. Okay, let me go. Are y'all with me still?
We with you.
Okay. And what happened was basically these Arabic, first of all, I want to say Arabic people ain't nothing but another Anglo-Saxon tribe. That's all they is. So Europeans had tribes too. And the Sumerian people, the first time they came across Europeans, this is actually written in stone, they said, what type of man, pass that around, that's one of their tribe mans. But what type of man is this that does not plant food? What type of man is this that does not bury their dead? Check this out. See, the people up north, up here, these are the people that they was talking about. And when they saw these people, they was like, these cats don't even bury their dead. Like somebody had died, they just leave the bones. See, they had no agriculture. They was eating raw meat. This is true. You can go look this up. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because we're talking about, in the Bible, it talks about a beast. Man, they still eat raw meat. Right. Now, I'm not saying, you know, all European people are bad, nothing like that, but what I'm saying is we have to understand something here. We have to analyze this. Okay? These are the Sumerians that said this about the Europeans when they saw them. Because, see, you got to remember something. Back then, when black folks was ruling, they didn't think at the time that it would have been no other way. That's all they knew was black folks ruling over black folks. They ain't know nothing else. They didn't see no other race. There was no other race to see. The other races were in the Caucasus Mountains. They were in Europe. Are y'all following what I'm saying? I'm talking about ancient times now. Okay? Well, The party was over around, I want to say, 332 BC. Alexander the Great. Y'all know anything about Alexander the Great? He came and whooped our tail. Now check this out. This invasion that happened, they had penetrated their way through. See, they ruled a certain area because they was coming from, they were coming from the north. So they would penetrate this area, which was black. So, because we did not already lay the foundation that everything was black. They would penetrate this area, they have sex with the women and make these mulatto babies. See, that's why you got European Chinese people, and then if you go to China, you got black Chinese people. You got European Indian people, then you got black Indian people. Where are all these races coming from? You know what I'm saying? It's just the mulatto stuff happening here. And finally they got to Egypt, and Alexander the Great, if you know anything about Alexander the Great, find my Greek picture, you know what I'm talking about. Alexander the Great, one thing about this dude, first of all, I want to tell you he was a white boy. Second of all, I want to tell you he was gay.
That's right.
Okay. Go do your research. He was a Greek. Oh yeah, and this is their culture. Pass that picture along. The Greeks came and changed everything. Okay? That's right. Pedophile and all that stuff, that didn't come from us. See, in Africa, we didn't have an old folks home because didn't nobody throw away their old folks.
That's right.
We didn't have an orphanage because nobody threw away their kids.
Tell me true. Tell me true.
These are European concepts that we still believe in today. You want to talk about gay rights? Yeah, gay rights. What else they gonna make right? Somebody having sex with an 8-year-old kid? And now they got the gay people adopting y'all kids. This is not an African concept, even though you see a lot of African homosexuals. But see, the reason why you see that is because they don't know who they is. If they did, they would know that this concept did not come from us. Pass around Khnum. I talked about Khnum. He made the Ba and the Ka. He created. And guess what? Khnum also, it says that in the ancient tombs of Egypt, it talks about how Khnum breathed into their life the breath of life. Now, what that sound like to you? Now, let's get back on this Twinkle Toes Alexander the Great. His buddy, and I want to say his lover, okay, was named Ptolemy Soter. We're going to talk about this dude. Let me tell y'all about Ptolemy Soter. He ruled after Alexander the Great. Now mind you, this later on in Egypt. This around 300 BC. You know, the books of the Bible were already written. You got the tombs. They are all built up. And just Africa was shining at this time. But Africa was like, I think they had went over like 25 dynasties. Now dynasties are a family that ruled at a particular time. So you might have one dynasty that lasts 100 years because his son ruled, and then, you know, it's whatever, however it went. Over 25 dynasties that went past. Like king after king. As a matter of fact, I got a timeline right here showing all these kings that happened. Find my pharaoh timeline in there. Now let me tell y'all about this dude Ptolemy Soter, because see, Ptolemy Soter changed everything. Okay, he changed everything. Okay, I'm winding down on this. We're gonna have to pick this up on another meeting, but I gotta say this last part right here. I gotta say this. Who in here is a young person? I want to see a young 11, 12-year-old, 13, 14, 15. Come here, man. When I tell you that they changed everything, they changed everything. Who is that? Honestly, don't worry about them. Who you see? Who you see? No, but who you see? Who that's supposed to be? It's supposed to be Jesus? Okay. By force. In other words, they were forced to make this God. Pass this picture around, Sam. Okay? Ptolemy Soter said, I want you Egyptians, you guys got all these gods, I want y'all to make this God of mine. So they made him a picture. And what they did was they made him a picture of a Greek person. And in that picture, you can't tell the difference between Jesus and Serapis, can you? Don't they look the same? Okay, well, let me say this. Serapis was a god created by the Greeks. And the name around 300, like in I want to say the 3rd and 4th century, I'm sorry, the 3rd and the 2nd century BC, like after Alexander the Great, if I'm not mistaken, after Alexander the Great. All I know is it was before Jesus, okay? I'm saying that for a reason. And Serapis was created, and people were forced to worship this god. Because this is like one of the first Greek gods. Because see, we had our gods, so now the Greeks was in ruleship, and they was like, no, y'all gonna worship our god, see? And this god is Serapis. Now guess what the Serapis worshipers were called at this time? They were called Christians. Now this is before Christ. Okay, open that up for me. There was an emperor called Hadrian, I believe. He wrote a letter, and he said, you know, y'all got this thing mixed up. See, the people who worship Serapis is called the bishops of Christ. And by the way, Ptolemy Soter, I want to say something about him. Ptolemy was his name, but Soter, who can tell me what soteriology is? Soteriology is the study of salvation. You Christians should know that. Christian people should know this. Soteriology is the study of salvation. Soter is a study of salvation. Savior. You understand what I'm saying? Ptolemy Soter believed that he was a savior. And Craig, this dude was so stupid, he made them make him a bust, a sculpting of himself with the pharaoh clothes, because he just wanted to be down so bad. You ever met a white boy that just wanted to be down so bad? He wear nigga clothes all the time. He wanted to be down, so they was worshiping this God, and they were called Christians. Now check this out. I'm gonna fast forward because I know we gotta go. In 325 AD, you had a council, and it was called the Council of Nicaea. Constantine was the ruler at this time. It's another white boy. Let me tell y'all what this European did. You had two groups of people at the time in faith. You had people that believed that Jesus was the Son of God. Then you have people that believe that Jesus was not the Son of God. They believed that Jesus was the Son of God, but they had a different concept about the Son of God than the Europeans had about Jesus, Jesus being the Son of God. And this was a big argument, and Constantine didn't like this. So you gotta remember, when history talks about Christians being persecuted, they're not talking about necessarily the Christians that we know of today in church. Because you had Serapis people who were called Christians too. I mean, if I'm wrong, stop me. So you had people worshiping Serapis, you had people worshiping Jesus, you had people that wasn't worshiping Jesus, and Constantine was like, I can't take it. Y'all messing up my political flow. We're gonna have a council. I'm gonna get all the priests together, and we're gonna sit down of the world, and we're gonna talk about this. There's over 300 priests in this meeting, and this meeting changed, I want to say it changed the course of time, y'all. Because they talked about the doctrine of what we believe in today. This doctrine said that we're going to make Jesus, who we all call Jesus, the Son of God. You had a brother named Arius. Everybody say a brother named Arius. He was from Libya. Libya is in Africa. And he said, listen, we've been doing this spiritual thing for a long time. Now y'all white boys want to come in and change some stuff. We can't have that. Constantine got Arius and his priests together, which were black. See, if you notice this thing, it ain't nothing but a, see why it's not a black and white thing. That's all it's ever been. That's right. Mm-hmm. You go do your history. It was people of color disagreeing with people that didn't have no color. That's all it's been. If you go do your research. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures right now too. I mean, we're gonna close out in a minute. I'm gonna tell y'all how it affects us today. This is the Ku Klux Klan. Y'all know about the Ku Klux Klan. You got a white boy named Charlton Heston. He has a group called the NRA. The NRA was founded in 1871. That's the same time that the Ku Klux Klan Act came. And they abolished the Klansmen. Like they told them, y'all can't do this thing no more. You know, Klansmen, they still doing it because this brother was just hung in 1981. But check this out. The NRA got 4.3 million members to it. They ain't nothing but another Ku Klux Klan. They the conservative Ku Klux Klan. And Charlton Heston, the dude that played Moses in the Ten Commandments, he's over this group. Now you tell me how much power this man got if he got 4.3 strapped white boys over an organization. And I got quotes from this dude that you can go do your research and find yourself saying that he don't like niggas. I got a picture right here and it's depicting Jesus. You don't believe Jesus was black? They got this in the British Museum right here. A picture of a coin made a long time ago of Jesus with a fro. Yeah, it's a real coin. It's in the British Museum right now. And they also got a sculpting of Judas being hung and Jesus on the cross. And Jesus got a big fat nose with some big lips. And Judas got a fro. He was hung. And these are pictures that they don't want y'all to see. Pass that around. Here's Happy right here. Happy was a god. You talk about El Shaddai, the many-breasted one in the Christian faith. Well, Happy was a man with breasts also. He was a god with breasts. It meant fertility. It wasn't nothing sexual. See, Egyptians didn't have no problem with their parts of their body and stuff like that. Excuse me. That perversion concept didn't come on until later. We understood the bodies and the functions of the body. Okay, here goes some pictures right here of angels and concepts of the lamb having 7 eyes and stuff like that. It talks about the creatures in Revelation. But I have a question for you. Who really saw these creatures first? Because if you read in the Egyptian hieroglyph, you will see they also had creatures and they also lifted up what you call the eye because they talked about the eye of Haru. Past that, I'm going to cut into Jehovah's Witnesses too. Because guess what? Charles Taze Russell, he was a crazy dude. Okay, he wasn't nothing but a David Koresh. His tomb is shaped like a pyramid. I got a picture of it right here. He was studying Egyptology before he died. And this dude thought Jesus was going to come back. And he stood in the middle of the street. And Jesus ain't come and get him. And him and his study partner fell out. And he started this Jehovah's Witness thing. They go false pictures of God. Now remember this. The Pope, check this out. The Pope commissioned Michelangelo to make a painting of God to be white. Here it is. And Adam, white boy. Now I just established that that's impossible. Okay? Now getting back to Serapis, y'all. I'm just going, showing y'all. Here go a picture of a black Madonna. Let me tell y'all something about the black Jesus and the black Mary. See, the Pope, they know what's up. I got a picture of the Pope worshiping the black Mary and the black Jesus right here, but this is not the image that they put on the street corners for us black folks to see. Because see, if they can make your enemy your deity, they can control you.
That's right. See?
And the last time I checked, black folk don't rule America. The last time I checked.
That's right. Still that way.
Here's what they did to a brother named Emmett Till. Yeah, I'm gonna show the picture because we need to wake up. Whoop that boy tail. They go Charlton Heston playing you show my house nigga picture? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, here go another house nigga, he with the president. And I got his forefathers of faith who don't like black people either. And they actually got a 20-minute tape dogging out black people. If you don't believe me, go do your research. Here's a group that the Bush is a part of right now. It's called Skull and Bones. A lot of people don't want you to believe that these groups exist, but they do. They exist today right here. They're groups. These people graduated from Yale University, and they're trying to rule the world. And I have an article somewhere. I don't want to find it because we ain't got much time. Basically, these group of white men are trying to rule the world. Right now, CNN is trying to pass a law so you can get a microchip put in your forehead or in your hand in order to buy and receive things, just like it say in the Bible. See, what y'all don't understand is, now that you know that black folk wrote the Bible, see, we got these concepts first. If It wasn't no other. It wasn't no other. You know. Now these are some of the products they used to make, and I'm just winding down, that they used to make Europeans. See, why would I want to believe anything somebody says that don't like me?
That's right.
They despise us. Did you know that Europeans used to eat mummies to try to get melanin? They would eat mummies because they knew that we were the chosen. See, we the only folk that don't know we the chosen people. See, we the only folk that don't know that.
That's right.
Wake up.
Okay. Here you go. Okay. Here's a concept. This the angel they want you to believe. Okay, when you finish your prayer, you say amen, right? Well, check this out. Amen means the concealed one. This was created 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years before amen was ever thought about. Amen is the concealed one. When you conceal your prayer, what do you say? You say amen. Even Jesus even started his sentence with saying amen. Jesus was bad. He started Yeshua. I'm going to say his real name. Yeshua, he said, surely I say unto you. If you go look that up, it means amen, I say unto you. Even the book of Revelations talk about amen. How amen says this to you. In one passage of scripture in Revelation, there's a picture of amen. You got to remember, all the concepts of God were black back then. Serapis was one of the first concepts of a European god. And in the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, Constantine basically said, look, we about to mix Serapis up, the image of Serapis, and we're going to place this image on the head of Jesus. That way, when you worship Jesus, and the people that's worshiping Serapis, they're both going to be worshiping, on one accord.
That's right.
So now we ain't got no confusion. It's all part of politics. Sound like what it is today. The picture I showed you of T.D. Jakes and Keith Butler, the house niggas, they doing the same stuff today. Making us believe the doctrine that they want us to believe instead of the truth. I know I'll probably get shot after this, but it don't matter. I got a book of the Constitution. You want to know something about your rights? Read the Constitution. We the people did not include black people or women. See, Africans didn't need to have no women's lib because we loved our black women. That's some European concept, women liberation. We thought the woman was equal. Ain't no one. See, that stuff about women and, they need to shut up and they before. Nah, man. See, last time I checked, a man can't come from a man, but a man can come from a woman.
That's right.
The last time I checked, I don't know, I could be wrong. Okay? Here's a depiction of, talk about, the Bible talks about the heavens and the earth being separated, the firmament. Here's a picture of, I want to say, Nut, Shoe, and Jeb, the whole concept of the firmament being separated. This existed so long ago before the Bible. So you have a pattern. And the pattern is, black folks started everything. We started every concept about everything. Food, clothes, God, and everything. Now, I want to wrap this up and I want to say, well, how does this affect us today? I think I done showed y'all enough pictures to see how this affects us today. Now I want to ask y'all a question. What are we going to do about it? See, this the key right here. And I'm going to close on this because, see, we're going to have another one of these. This is just the beginning. You call me whatever you want to. You can call me Malcolm X. You can call me Martin Luther King because I get dogged out every day for this. But you know what? See, that shows right there that we brainwashed. Why do I get flack for talking about black history and I'm black around a whole bunch of black people? Do that make sense?
No, sir.
See, them white boys and them Arabics that own the gas station, see, they know where they come from.
That's right.
Every race know where they come from, but us folk. When I watch TV and I see, I see a brother, not a brother, I see a preacher, I don't even want to say his name. He actually said that the Jews are God's chosen people, but the people who believe in God in America is the chosen people. I was like, are you joking? See, all this stuff is going in our head and we don't realize it. See, when you turn on a commercial, when you watch TV, when you watch videos, when you watch movies, and they show these different depictions, your subliminal mind is so powerful, y'all don't even realize it. Y'all don't realize how powerful y'all mind is. What are we gonna do about it today? We need to channel our aggression and our anger towards the liberation of our people.
Right.
Not just in America, but I mean as the God man that he created us to be. Black folks, I got the Constitution book. Black folks ain't even start getting rights until like 100 years after the Constitution was even made. And we want to talk about, we think we free, we get us some jobs and some cars, and we go out to the suburbs around a whole bunch of white folks that don't even want us around. They don't even make black products in the suburb. We using this lotion with all this bull crap in it. All type of stuff, yeah. Do you know they're trying to synthetically make melanin right now? Yeah. And see, the only reason why they can't use melanin till it's fullest right now, see, that's the only reason why we allow. Yeah, I'm gonna just say this, and we're gonna close on this. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all know how deep it is. If you don't believe me, go do your research. The only reason why black folks even here right now is because we got melanin right now. Because see, your melanin is in your brain. Your melanin needs memory to work. If I'm wrong, stop me, somebody. If they can find out how they can get this to work without us, they can synthetically produce this melanin without us, we hit. We only take up 13% of the American population. See, let me tell you what I'm trying to do. Y'all can laugh at me all you want to. I'm going back to Africa. I'm going to save up me about $500,000 and I'm getting out of here. Because they don't want me here. Yeah, that's right. Marcus Garvey, that's right. Because let me tell you something. Marcus Garvey said, you show me a people without a flag and I'll show you a lost people. Come home. You can call me a revolutionist or all you want to. But see, when you catch a people that have changed your religion, the way you dress, the way you think, the way you act, something is wrong with this picture. And I see it every day. I work in the mall, and the people that own the mall and the people that's in management, a few of them is white, and they hate me. They hate my guts. Yeah, they hate my guts. They mess with me all the time. And they try to be your buddy. You know, hey, how's it going, Gennaro? How's it going today, buddy? And they writing stuff about you, and you just think you white. You hanging, oh, hey, you know. Let me tell you something. Arabics got a bulletproof glass at every liquor store for a reason. Where's our bulletproof glass at? We didn't put ours down. I ain't talking about physically either. I'm talking about up here. See, being black ain't a part of no skin thing no more. It's up here. This being black right here. We have to wake up. Quit waiting on Bush and Obama to be the president. Look, man, if you live in the hood, I understand it's bad in the hood. I live in the hood. If you see your neighbor's grass and you cut his grass for him. Quit talking about him. Let him borrow your lawnmower. If you think he's going to break it, watch him while he's cutting it. I mean, anything. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it twisted. I ain't saying put your guard down because you got crackheads out, you got crazy people out here. But I guarantee you they ain't more vicious than the species that I'm talking about right now.
That's right.
I'm not asking nobody to change their religion. I'm just asking you to go think about this information that I gave you tonight and reanalyze it again and again and again and again. There's an old African proverb that says, know thyself. See, if you don't know yourself, you cannot be nothing else. You cannot be a lawyer. You cannot be a doctor. You can't be nothing until you know thyself. And you're going to learn that when you know thyself, you're going to learn who God is, because you were made in the image of God. Iceman Inheritance. I recommend this book. You got a white boy talking about white boys. The human story. You a white boy too. See, I like to read books of white folks too, because see, when they tell the truth, you know it gotta be true. They ain't gonna lie about themselves. I got the Nile Valley Contribution of Civilization by Anthony Browder. You gotta get this book right here. Like I said, go do your own research. Now check this out. I'm gonna really blow your mind, because see, I went to seminary school. I went to study to be a preacher, because I like to preach. And a lot of the facts that I talked about tonight are in a book that I got from a church named Word of Faith International Christian Center. And it's right here. It was been in my face all this time. And when I was in school of ministry, they did not talk about it. This book got Akhenaten in it. It got the first concept of God. This is a book that they gave me. They made me buy this book. I couldn't go through seminary school without buying this book. And they used to tell me, don't read page 49. Okay, read page 50. Okay, don't read. And I used to be like, what? Yeah. So, you know, once I left, you know, and I started reading this page they told me, and I mean, they got Serapis in this book and everything. And check this out. In this book, they talk about the concept of Christ. If you look up Christ, and Jesus ain't even mentioned in the definition of Christ. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's another book talking about church history and playing with another book I got from seminary school. They used to say the same thing. Don't read this book page. Okay, read this page. Okay, you know, they used to do the same thing. And this talk about the Council of Nicaea. And every black person should have this. If you don't, then there's something wrong with you. I got me a dictionary. Because you know, the European people who we are ruled. See, you gotta remember something. United States symbol is an eagle. Well, the Roman symbol is an eagle too. Go do your history on the Roman Empire. We think it's all over. No, it ain't all over. Go get you a dictionary, because they like to get tricky with their words. Go get this book, We the People, the Words We Live By. And it's actually got racist quotes in here. I got a book, A Dictionary of Religions. When I want to know something about a different religion, I don't just listen to what folk got to say. I go do the research myself. I got this book right here by Runoko Rashidi, my buddy, this is my buddy, but African Presence in Early Asia. And it talks about black folks in Asia. See, we ruled everywhere. There wasn't no other race besides our race, y'all. So quit looking at these movies and thinking that, you know, folk was white. They wasn't. And we ain't even getting to half of what I want to talk about. But like I said, I let the spirit move me. And that's what came out. I got a book on the Encyclopedia of Ancient Egypt, made by, I believe, I don't know if you're white or black, but I think you're white boy, because it's just some stuff in here that I just... See, you gotta, when you do your research too, you gotta watch stuff that downplay Africanness. When you go do you gotta watch that, see? You gotta, when you're reading a book and they talk about Africa and they kind of downplay, they say, well, they probably was of a dark skin. Nah, they were dark skinned. Ain't no probably of nothing. So watch that. Somebody told me to get this book a while ago, and I got it. It's called The Egyptian Book of the Dead. And if I'm not mistaken, the Europeans called it the Book of the Dead because we called it the Coming Forth by Dead. See, they like to change stuff around, see, and for the bad. Just like Asar, Set, and Haru, they change the names to Osiris, Isis, and Horus. You know, they always changing stuff. Ethiopia ain't even an African word. It means burnt face in Greek. Yeah, they done changed everything. July, that's short for Julius Caesar. We were supposed to give honor to Julius Caesar, July. See, we caught up in the European world and we don't even realize it.
All a lie.
All a lie. Everything you ever learned was a lie. You got to reinvent yourself. See, that's what they made it hard. They made the wheel hard. See, now we got access to information, but see, what they did was they made the wheel hard now. See, now we got to re-examine everything, step back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this really wasn't called this, it's called this, and then now we can step forward. They made it so hard for us, but if we don't like hurry up and make a change, it's gonna get harder, and it's gonna get harder. But I'm keeping these pictures, I'm keeping these books, I'm gonna put them in a vote all over the place, because I refuse to die and they change this. They ain't going down while I'm still alive. They gonna have to shoot me. Anybody got like some comments or something? I didn't hear from y'all at all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, don't say no outlandish crazy stuff. Don't start, black folks. No, I'm just kidding. But any comments though, good comments. We got something bad, keep it to yourself. But anybody got any comments or questions? Go ahead.
I just had a question. You were talking about the Nicene Council and the Libyan priests. Is there more to that story? Is there?
Well, yes, there's a lot to that story. See, they made a decree, and the decree said, is that everybody, Mama? Okay. Did everybody? Okay, let me break this down. This is for the people after you've given and you signed the notebook. Feel free to leave if you want to, because I know my daddy ready to get out of here. But I just want to answer that question. They made a decree basically saying that that Jesus was the Son of God. And this was not examined. This was not it was like just it was just made up. Because Constantine was frustrated. And see, the black priests, Arian, from Libya, Arius, and the white priests, they was beefing. So they exiled Arius out because he was like, look, the concept of the Son of God that y'all talking about, it ain't, it ain't that. They was trying to make, this Son of God, God. And they was like, nah, we ain't having that. See, what I'm saying? The Africans didn't believe that. They had a different concept about God and the Son of God. And you have to study this concept to understand. Part of the concept is what I'm talking about here. So you had a group called the Gnostics. Okay? And these people were African people who also believed in Christianity. And they were shunned away. As a matter of fact, a lot of their books got taken out of the original. So you got to remember, we only know of 4 Gospels. There are over 70 Gospels right now in rotation. Okay? And you had to find out, and it tells you more information about God and Jesus and stuff like that. Well, during this council, they changed all that around. And the concept that we have of Christ and God today, see, we didn't know nothing about no Christ. That's a Greek term. You understand what I'm saying? Everything after Alexander the Great was flipped up. Even the word Egypt. Egypt was Kemet. So in this council, they changed that because they wanted the black folks to worship God and they wanted the white folks to worship God. So they made this Serapis and Jesus. They stuck them together and everybody started worshiping this one God. And then Constantine was so happy. Made him look like a good ruler. But there's more to the story than that. Way more to the story than that. And they made this decree. And it had not nan scripture in it. In this decree. Not nan scripture. These are priests. Right? That's what they're doing today.